Good morning, everyone. I am jumping on here. I'm starting a new knitting project. This is a sweater that I've started this numerous times, and I decided to give it another try. I'm not as proficient at knitting as I am at crocheting, so knitting is a little bit more of a struggle for me. And I was on live on TikTok, but I feel like if anybody wanted to go back and look at any of the stitches or do this along with me, YouTube, you can go back and rewind and look at the video and stop it and everything. So I feel like YouTube might be a better platform for the knitting. Anyway, this is the sweater is from the Noro Volume 18 magazine, and it is pattern number 20, Peach Blossom Pullover. And I am making it in the Noro Akari yarn, which is a Japanese silk yarn. I think it has silk and wool, and it's a very nice yarn. So I wanted to make sure that I take my time with this. I'm just making this for myself. I'm learning to read knitting patterns, and I've never done that before. Well, I took a class specifically to make this sweater, but life got ahead of me. So anyway, I've learned to read knitting patterns, where with crocheting I was just shown by everyone. And usually I'll put content of crocheting, but I'm taking this as a little bit of a challenge here. Anyway, so what I did first with this, you can see the bottom. This works your, this is the, let's see, this is the back side of the sweater first. And I will show you quickly here. This is, you can see this is what the sweater's going to look like. So this is the back side of the sweater first. You're doing the back panel, and it has you work from the bottom edge up. So the bottom has a 2.5 inch ribbed edging. So I did that first, which is just a series of casting on 198 stitches and then doing knit 2, purl 2 in alternate at alternate times, so that you can make that ribbing, the ribbing look, which I like. One of the things I like about knitting is I feel like when you knit something, the project feels more delicate. You can see where I'm making a somewhat of an error right here, because it's kind of curving in a little, and I've lost a couple stitches. I don't really want to take it all out, because I can't tell you how many times I've taken out this sweater when I've started it before. This, after you do the ribbing, the body of the sweater is a lace pattern, which I don't know if you can see that, but it is coming out. There are going to be some errors, but I'm going to just have to live with the errors, because I have really taken this project out many times. I started this project over a year ago, but I keep getting so frustrated every time I do it. Number one, now I remember, because this, where I lose and it starts to look like it's tilting that way, which could just be my tension on the needle. So because when I block it, I feel like I might be able to compensate for that little teeny bit. I've only lost 3 stitches. So I'm just going to make sure that I count really carefully when I'm moving forward on this, so that I don't lose any more stitches. So I just thought I'd hop on here if anybody wants to knit along with me. I'm going to be, what I've been trying to do to be very careful and not make any mistakes is just do the lace pattern, which is a row of 4 different rows that create this lace pattern. And just because I do struggle with doing this, I thought that, sorry, there's a screen thing, that I thought that I would be able to do it if I did it a little more carefully and took my time. So, I don't know if there's any other people on here that like to knit and want to get started, but I'm going to get started on this first. And it says knitting 1. So let me make sure my yarn, oh wait a minute, actually my needles are crooked. There we go. Make sure I have my thread in the right location. And see if you guys can all see right here. I'm also using a new camera holder. There we go. And all of the supplies and everything that I'm using are listed in my Amazon store. And of course I do get a small commission for that. So if you see that and you want to click the links to my Amazon storefront, I have the needles and the yarn and the pattern book and everything all in there. So this repeat is, I just knit 1 and then I do a yarn over and knit 2 together till the end. So let's see here, yarn over and knit 2 together. Again, like I said, knitting doesn't come as naturally to me as my crocheting does. So if this doesn't look perfect to any of you, or if you guys have some just suggestions on there, I'm more than happy to take some suggestions. Anything to just keep this easy. And that's it. That is my knitting project. So now, I mean, I'm hoping, I was making this for myself. I was hoping to be done with this by April, but, you know, I have a tendency, first of all, I most likely will get bored halfway through because that's just what happens. But I do have a couple other projects that I have going. I don't know if there's anybody else. Ooh, 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 ooh. I hope I did not lose a stitch. Let's see. Let's see. Let me take a look here. Okay, let's see here. I don't know. Okay, this is where I personally, okay, hold on, I think I did that stitch or that stitch. This is where my lack of experience hinders me, because if a mistake is made, I'm not able really to fix it because I'm just not quite sure what's what yet. So that's where I get nervous, because I don't want to have to take these whole things apart. Whereas crocheting, I know all the tips and tricks on, let's see, how to not have to take it all apart. Let's see, here we go. Because, I mean, this is a pretty easy stitch. I just feel like my tension is so tight right here. Anyway, I will just keep going along. And see, this end does not have a curve. That end, some of it too is the way it's on, but it does not have a curve. That looks like all my stitches are pretty much lined up. So I'm just gonna have to figure out on here. But there we go. And nope, nope, and nope, nope. You know why? Because I see what I did. I got under the lace. I didn't get under the stitches. I actually went under that lace hole there. So now it should go, yeah. I guess I just have to be careful. I ended up going under, like, I don't know if you can see, like, that part there. There we go. I went under, like, the hole rather than the two stitches here. There we are. Okay. All right. And there we go. And over. And then knit two together. And over. And again, like I said, this is more of a struggle for me. So I really need to be careful, and I feel like my tension might be a little too tight right in there. See if I can't go. And I feel like you see people that knit and they go so fast. I'm not a fast knitter. There we are. Go. Try and keep it down here. I'm trying to see where the camera is. There we are. Where the camera is. Back over. The two together like that. Alright, now it seems to be going a little smoother here. I say that, and then it will slow down. But all of this together creates this lace design that you see here. So these series of stitches in the knitting create the lace design. Anyway, I do find this really relaxing. I just feel like when I knit, it really needs to be not too many people around, not a lot of stuff going on, so that I can keep up with the pattern. Otherwise, I'll lose my spot. And I do need to make notes when knitting because this pattern has so many different parts to it that I'm not able to just put it down and pick it up like I can with crocheting and figure out where I am, because I'm not really too familiar with these knitting stitches. So, and the look of all the knitting stitches, like I couldn't see somebody's design and be like, oh, they did a blank, blank, and blank stitch, because I have no idea. I'm simply following along like a GPS. The pattern is my GPS, and I'm doing what it says, and that would be, I'm like blindly following. But I have made, the Noro magazine is fabulous. I did make a shawl with the interlock pattern. That was my very first knitting project I ever did. and I took my knitting class at the local yarn shop, which I love, right in my town. And the sweater or the shawl, it came out so pretty. The only thing about the shawl that I did not care for is I feel like it's so small. It really is strictly just for like putting over your shoulders. I kind of like them a little bit bigger. But not really knowing what I was doing was kind of a problem. Now if I was to do it again, I could make it bigger and I could adjust it to the size that I would like. Anyway, I don't know if you can see this really good, what I'm doing here. Oh. And just like that. Oh. Just knitting two together. And doing a yarn over to create this stitch. Again, I feel like my tension's probably a little tighter than it should be. There we go. Probably just going to get one row done maybe today. You can see right there. Okay, everybody, well, that's my update right now. So I've been working on this for about 3 days, and we'll see how far I get in another 3 days.